Hyaluronic acid is the most purchased skincare molecule of 2026, and most people using it are wasting their money. From €10 to 300, we are about to prove which of these three serums your skin actually absorbs. Before we open a single bottle, the most expensive serum in this comparison contains one form of hyaluronic acid. The cheapest contains 3. We have not touched a product yet, and the story is already upside down. Product 1. The ordinary hyaluronic acid 2% plus B5, €10. The industrial baseline, the honest formula every cosmetic engineer uses as a reference point. We open this INCI list as a molecular blueprint, not a label. One concept unlocks everything: molecular weight measured in kilodaltons. Above 1,500 kilodaltons, a molecule stays at the surface. Below 50, it infiltrates the living epidermis. This number alone determines whether an ingredient actually reaches your skin or just pretends to. The ordinary deploys 3 molecular weights at once: sodium hyaluronate for the surface, hydrolyzed hyaluronic acid to infiltrate the epidermis from within, and sodium hyaluronate crosspolymer, the most sophisticated of the 3 and the most misunderstood ingredient in modern skincare. What no label will ever tell you: your skin is actively destroying this molecule. An enzyme called hyaluronidase degrades standard hyaluronic acid within 24 hours of application. Your skincare routine is in a race against your own biology every single day. The crosspolymer is the direct answer to that biological race. Its covalent bonds form a 3-dimensional mesh that hyaluronidase cannot dismantle, while releasing moisture slowly over time. Anti-enzyme architecture inside a €10 formula. Now let us kill a myth that has sold hundreds of millions of units. 100% pure hyaluronic acid. Pure HA at 100% concentration is a white solid powder, inert, non-functional on skin. The real window is 1 to 2% in solution. The purity claim is theater. The ordinary also includes phospholipids and sphingolipids, the biological mortar of your skin's intercellular cement. Humectants saturate the inside with water. Lipids seal the outside against evaporation. Most hyaluronic serums forget the mortar entirely. This one did not. One vulnerability: below 40% ambient humidity, the glycols in this formula reverse behavior and pull water out of your skin. Physical chemistry, not a flaw, but it means one non-negotiable rule: always seal with an occlusive cream. Skip it, and you accelerate the very problem you were solving. Verdict on the ordinary: 3 molecular weights, enzymatic resistance, complete lipid barrier at €10. One caveat: needs an occlusive in dry climates. Engineer score 8.5 out of 10, a baseline most luxury serums will not clear. Product 2. Glow Recipe Plum Plump Hyaluronic Serum, the viral outsider. The brand claims a 5-layer hydration matrix targeting every epidermal depth simultaneously. We are going to verify that claim molecule by molecule. Before we go through this INCI, a warning. One ingredient in this formula does not belong in skincare. It belongs in aerospace. When our lab team first encountered it on this list, the assumption was a data error. It was not. 2 genuine hyaluronic acid molecules confirmed: sodium hyaluronate for the surface, and sodium acetylated hyaluronate, an acetyl modification that multiplies lipid affinity and extends skin residence time 10-fold. That is real chemistry, not a marketing claim. Here is what Glow Recipes marketing blurs deliberately. Tremella fuciformis and acacia sail gum are not hyaluronic acid. They are functional analogs, plant polymers mimicking HA's behavior through different chemistry. Commercially convenient to group them, scientifically a separate category. Tremella fuciformis is not hyaluronic acid, but it may outperform it. This fungal beta-glucan forms nanoparticles retaining more water by weight than standard HA, with deeper epidermal penetration. The ingredient that replaced HA may actually be superior to what it replaced. Acacia sail gum forms a breathable structural scaffold at the surface. And then we reach position 6 in the INCI, the ingredient that stopped the entire lab team. The one from aerospace, SR Spider POL polypeptide 1. Spider silk, inside a hyaluronic acid serum. Synthetic polypeptides derived from spider dragline silk, a material with tensile strength exceeding steel by weight. Applied here not as a hydrator, but as a structural scaffold for the entire hydration matrix. Spider dragline silk is 5 times stronger than steel at equivalent weight. The synthetic polypeptide scaffolds the hydration matrix without occluding the skin's gas exchange. Nobody expected to find this inside a product marketed with plums. Nobody. And then the last line of the INCI, fragrance. In a formula targeting barrier-compromised skin, this is a clinical liability. Contact sensitization on disrupted barriers is peer-reviewed fact. One molecule at the end of a brilliant formula with the power to undo everything before it. Verdict on Glow Recipe. Most ambitious architecture of the three. 2 genuine HA vectors, 2 functional analogs, a spider polypeptide scaffold in a category of its own. The fragrance is a real clinical deduction. Engineer score, 9 out of 10. 1 avoidable flaw. Product 3. Dr. Barbara Stern, €300. One question before we open the INCI. We are about to show this formula has the shallowest hyaluronic technology of the three. So why do dermatologists, people who read INCI lists for a living, recommend it? The complete INCI. Water, butylene glycol, Lactobacillus portulaca oleracea ferment extract, phenoxyethanol, sodium hyaluronate, ethyl hexoglycerin, potassium sorbate, leuconostoc radish root ferment filtrate. 8 ingredients, against 30 ingredient formulas we have examined here. That restraint is either genius or negligence. Position 3 is where the formula lives. Purslane, portulaca oleracea, carries exceptional omega-3 density and documented anti-inflammatory properties. Lactobacillus fermentation breaks its molecules into bioavailable fragments with dramatically improved skin penetration. 8 ingredients, 1 carrying the entire clinical load. Even the preservation system is coherent. A minimal synthetic pair, phenoxyethanol and ethyl hexoglycerin. Then, leuconostoc radish ferment adds biological antimicrobial peptides in the same biotechnological language as the core active. This formula protects itself with its own science. Now scene 2 makes sense. 1 hyaluronic acid molecule. Standard sodium hyaluronate. Surface only. No crosspolymer, because the BDDE crosslinker required is chemically incompatible with an ultra-clean formula. Purity was consciously traded for penetration depth. The Ordinary at €10, 3 molecular depths. Glow Recipe, 4. Dr. Barbara Stern at €300, 1. Price and penetration depth are moving in opposite directions. This is not an accident. It is a deliberate positioning strategy. So, what does €300 buy here? Biocompatibility. No other product in this comparison can match. Zero fragrance, zero silicone, zero polymer, zero allergen. For post-laser skin, rosacea, post-procedure recovery, this may be the only clinically safe option. One detail worth recognizing: the Leuconostoc radish ferment filtrate was added as a preservative. But as a fermentation byproduct, it also delivers moisturizing peptides. The conservation system does double duty. Accidental intelligence still counts. Verdict on Dr. Barbara Sturm. Remarkable biotechnology, maximum clinical tolerance of any formula in this comparison. 1 HA vector, surface depth only. At €300, you are buying the safest formula for compromised skin, not molecular depth. Engineering, 7 out of 10. Biocompatibility, 10 out of 10. Before the final matrix, one number, €47. That is the average consumer spend on a hyaluronic serum. Most are either overpaying for under-engineered molecules or underpaying for ones they do not understand. This matrix exists to resolve exactly that. 4 axes, 4 different winners: molecular depth, barrier intelligence, skin tolerance, value engineering. No product wins everything, and that is precisely the point. Your answer depends on which axis matters most to your skin. Axis 1, molecular depth. Glow Recipe wins. 5 hydration mechanisms, a spider polypeptide scaffold, the deepest penetration profile of the 3. The Ordinary, second. Dr. Barbara Sturm, third. 1 vector, surface only. No contest on this axis. Axis 2, barrier intelligence. The Ordinary wins, the only formula with both sphingolipids and phospholipids as dedicated barrier agents. Bricks and mortar, complete. Glow Recipe has phospholipids only. Dr. Barbara Sturm has 0 lipid barrier architecture. Axis 3, skin tolerance. Dr. Barbara Sturm wins, unambiguously. 8 ingredients, 0 fragrance, 0 silicone, 0 polymer, 0 allergen. For reactive or compromised skin, this is the only defensible clinical choice. Glow Recipe second, the Ordinary third. Axis 4, value engineering. The Ordinary wins, definitively. An 8.5 out of 10 sophistication score at €10. Anyone paying above the €47 average for a formula without cross-polymer and lipid barrier is paying for packaging, not penetration. Final recommendation: without hedging. Budget skin? The Ordinary. It outperforms products costing 30 times more. Advanced skin seeking maximum depth? Glow Recipe. Patch test first. Compromised or post-procedure skin? Dr. Barbara Sturm. The clinical justification is real. Know your archetype. One thing no matrix can show: none of these serums work without what comes after them. Topical hyaluronic acid requires an occlusive layer. Cream, butter, squalane, or the hydration evaporates within minutes. Years of molecular engineering, undone by skipping the moisturizer. Science does not care about packaging or price. It responds to 4 filters: molecular weight, penetration depth, barrier reconstruction, enzymatic resistance. These filters never lie. The next time you hold a hyaluronic serum in your hand, you will not see a bottle. You will see an INCI list. Which finding surprised you most? The spider polypeptide inside a Plum serum? Tremella outperforming standard HA? Or Dr. Barbara Sturm trading depth for purity? Tell us in the comments. And if you want this analysis applied to another molecule, the lab is open.